Okay, here's the lower end of my 2013 900 XP motor. And I was taking a look at this oil chain and I really wasn't sure, what kind of slack this should have and whether or not that's, part of that startup noise that you get. I know that's normally the tensioner on the other side, but this is the PTO side. This is the oil pump chain. But take a look at that. Let me see if I can get a good picture of that. You see those two grooves that are actually in the case? Well, that looks to me like the chain can actually, there's enough slack, I can get my hand in here, where this chain is actually able to hit the case. So, and if you think about it, this is on the lower part of the engine, so it's gonna wanna be hanging down here until you get, some tension on it from the engine running. Right, so the engine is actually running this way, so that crank is going to tighten up, right? This is when it goes slack and this is when it goes tight, so slack tight. So I don't know what the spec is. I could not find a spec on this chain anywhere, but that obviously has got to be a stretch chain. So if you're going to be rebuilding your motor, take a look at this. I was just inspecting this and this is what I found. All right, so what I wanted to show is the difference in the new chain versus the old chains. So as you saw earlier, my oil chain was actually hitting the case and put a little groove in the crankcase. So I knew that chain had stretched. So I thought I would show exactly how much. The new chain is on the top, old chain is on the bottom. So I've tried to line these guys up as close as I can and stretch them out. When I get here to the bottom, that's how much difference. So if you see right here, this chain is sticking out about 1/3 of a link, or longer than the other one, just a little bit. I mean, that's enough. That's all you need to have that chain hit. So I thought maybe I'd try to do the same thing with the cam chain. So I've lined these guys up about as close as I can. Come down here to the end and same thing. If I get these kind of squared away, those ends right here should be matching, but you can see, if I just use my fingers as a reference, it's that much longer. So 1/8 of an inch, maybe, maybe a little more, same thing up here. If I try to put my finger across there. So again, if you're going to be doing a rebuild on this 900 XP, definitely replace these chains because they might look like they're in good shape. I mean, mine doesn't look like anything's wrong with them, but it's the stretch. That's what you're worried about. So the tensioner will take up some of it on the, on your cam chain, but down here on your oil chain, there is nothing. There is no tensioner whatsoever. So if you get a chain that's long, it's going to start hitting the case, which once it does that, you're going to start getting metal shavings. And if it happens to catch, it's just going to break that chain and catastrophic failure. So anyway, hopefully this will help.